Hey guys, it's John in the First Drop Kitchen. Today we're going to cook my grandmother's old recipe from Greece, chicken livers in a white wine olive oil sauce of brown shallots, chili, bay leaf, cinnamon quills, star anise and cloves. So my grandmother was from Greece, and the island that they came from, obviously through the years, was a spice route. So a lot of these dried herbs and spices were traded up through the Middle East into Europe through Greece. So a lot of the cooking in that part of the world has these exotic spices that I guess are cooked with all over the world now, but I guess in those days it was very unique to a spice route, I would have thought. And we're going to marry it with our Barossa Valley Matador Grenache from old bush vines out of Ebenezer, farmed by the same family for 5 or 6 generations. And again, it's made in the old family style that we made wine growing up. So Grenache is brought into the winery, spends 5 days on skins with regular pump overs, pressed off and then aged in old barriques. 3 to 5 year old barriques for about 6 months only, and it's bottled in the year of vintage, so only 6 months in barriques, bottled fresh to retain all that sort of beautiful high toned aromatic, those juicy fruits that you get from Grenache, that sometimes can be masked if they spend too much time on skins or too much work in the winery and too much time in oak. So we really want to highlight the pure Grenache fruit of flavours of really juby aromatics and really juby fruits of strawberries and cream, cherries and some delicate blue fruits. Just to prepare the livers, you'll get the livers like this from your local butcher or supermarket. What we do is just clean the vein out of the liver, like so, and discard that. So again, one more time, that white vein that sort of holds the liver together and the main artery to the liver, I guess. And with that you can cut it in half, because this chicken's got some pretty big livers. So brown shallots, make sure you use these brown shallots. Do not use brown onions or white onions. You must use these brown shallots. They cook up quite sweet, and they don't actually taste of onion when they're cooked. They taste kind of like sweet little friends. So very simple. Top and tail the shallot, and just very finely take the outside skin off and the peel, and that's it. So for I won't bore you too much with shallot preparation. Maybe we'll go to commercial break. Okay, so this dish is basically comprised of 2 sections. First we have to make our sauce of shallots, fresh garlic, chili, bay leaf, star anise, cloves and cinnamon in some white wine and olive oil. Once that's cooked, we'll then fry off our chicken livers in a bit of plain flour and then combine the two together. So chili, I like to use long, large chilies because they're not too hot. Some people can take lots of heat and others don't, and I always remove the seeds and wash them out. Just so the heat of the chili doesn't overpower the deliciousness of the dish, and they can be coarsely chopped. We don't want to. This is a very rustic dish. As I said, it's an old Greek grandmother's dish. Okay, let's do it. So in our pot, some olive oil, some garlic. I just leave them whole. Our shallots that we've already cleaned, again, just leave them whole. A couple of cinnamon sticks, cut in half. Some bay leaf, this is fresh, you can use dry if you like. I like using fresh because it's a bit more aromatic. A couple of stars of star anise. Half a dozen cloves, and that's good to go. Next step, onto the stove with some white wine. You just want to sweat this down without burning the garlic or the oil. Just sweat it down and allow the garlic and the shallots to become translucent. So on the heat, and we're going to use a good quality white wine, anise today. And as I've said many times, don't use the wine you'll give your mother-in-law, give her that and cook with the good stuff. After a few minutes, and when things are starting to boil over in the pan or in the pot, add your chilli, a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of salt, and freshly cracked pepper. A pinch of salt, cracked pepper. We're away. So that'll take around about 15 minutes, depending on what kind of heat you want to use. Again, don't let the pot get too hot and too carried away. You want to make the sauce translucent, and just mould together gradually. So our sauce has been gently simmering away for about 20 minutes on a medium heat, and like I said earlier, all we want to do is gently melt the brown shallots and the garlic. The flavours of the herbs and spices infuse into the white wine and olive oil sauce. As you can see, there's a fair bit of olive oil and white wine still there. The white wine's cooked out, and we're almost there. So another 5 minutes and we should be ready to go. So in the meantime, we're going to lightly flour and fry the chicken livers. Dust as much of the flour off as possible and coat the livers as best you can. Yeah, look, the one thing I like to think about when I'm coating my livers is, world peace. We've got so much of everything in the world at the moment, but not enough peace. And also the AFL finals are coming up, so we're going to see what happens there. What else is coming up, Megan? Showdown, yep, that's good. When's the Mardi Gras? That's coming up. Got lots of stuff coming up.
Thoughts on the Olympics?
Yep. Personally, my favourite event was the breakdancing. So our chicken livers have been lightly dusted in flour. You can use any flour, plain flour or self-raising. I just use plain flour for most of my cooking. A little bit of olive oil down. As you may have noticed, I love using olive oil. Very good for you. Good for your skin. Good for your complexion. Make sure you look a lot younger. You wouldn't guess I'm 85 years old. Okay, so just going to gently fry these right through. Oh, that's delightful. That's good, isn't it? We've gently just been frying our livers, turning them regularly so as not to burn them, but to make sure that they're cooked evenly on both sides. And that'll take about 3 or 4 minutes, so a couple of minutes each side. Maybe turn them every minute. And if you're unsure if they're cooked right through, maybe just grab a large liver and cut it through, and you can see where you're at. Whilst they look, almost like they're cooked on the outside, they've got a fair way to go. So make sure you cook them as thoroughly as possible, because you don't want to have them too raw. Pretty good. So we have fried the chicken liver thoroughly, turning it every minute to make sure that it's cooked pretty well all the way through. We want to keep it sort of medium rare, because we're going to finish it off in the hot pan here. So pan on some reasonably high heat, using the olive oil and the oil from our sauce that we've produced earlier, and adding some shallots. You can add the herbs and spices in as well. That's just more flavour. In with the chicken livers. And the next step is just to gently fry these through, to make sure the livers are coated with all the sauce and the oil. The shallots and the herbs and spices are integrating. Just a few minutes, it won't take long, because basically everything's been cooked. We just want to bring everything together. A little bit of chopped parsley. And coat all the livers with that really shiny olive oil and shallot sauce. This is a great late winter dish, where you're still a bit of chill in the air, you still feel like rich, hearty food. There we are, we'll just plate her up. I wish you could smell this, but you could smell the cinnamon and the clove, the star anise, the garlic. It's so delicious. Voila! My grandmother's chicken liver recipe. We serve it in the Matador occasionally. So if you're lucky enough to pop in and it's on the menu, on the specials, please do yourself a favour and try it. Even if you don't like chicken livers, you'll love these chicken livers. And it's fantastic with our Matador Barossa Grenache. Again, an old family style Grenache made with sort of high tone aromatics, juicy fruits, and easy drinking. So JR's grandmother's chicken livers in a really light aromatic sauce of some bay, some brown shallots, cinnamon and cloves, star anise, garlic, a bit of chilli, white wine and olive oil. Let's give it a taste test, shall we? So cooked all the way through, a little bit pink, but pretty much cooked all the way through. Yeah. I think she'd be happy with that. Here's cheers. Married with our delicious Matador Grenache from Ebenezer in the Barossa Valley. This vineyard's been farmed by the same family for 5 or 6 generations. It's a very old vineyard, kind of around 100 plus years old. Yeah, we picked we pick it at optimum ripeness, bring the fruit into the winery and crush and leave it on skins with regular daily pump overs for about 5 days only, and then it's pressed off and transferred into large format French puncheons that are between 3 and 5 years old for around 6 months. So it's bottled in the year of vintage to retain that freshness. So there's juicy fruits, really juby fruits, strawberries of cream, you know, a little bit of plum, a little bit of white, a little bit of sort of plumminess, a little bit of blue fruit. It's fantastic, really drinkable. In the summertime, we pop it in the fridge just to take the edge off in terms of the heat, and serve it at about 10 or 12 degrees. It's fantastic. Fantastic with chicken livers. Very good. So I normally make a good amount, and there's typically a fair bit left over. So what is left over, I put it into a blender, take out the dried herbs and spices, the cinnamon, the cloves, star anise, and puree it, and then pop it in the fridge and serve it as a pate the following day or the following few days. It's absolutely delightful, a real winner. The Barossa is famous for celebrity chefs and for chefs that have cooked here for a long time, and we've got some beautiful pates made here, but this one is just as delicious. So if you've got some left over, put it in the blender and give it a whirl.